You know how we imagine the discovery of alien life or interstellar objects?
Let me guess. Sirens, emergency broadcasts, the president interrupting the Super Bowl?
Exactly. We expect the movie version. Panic, noise, dramatic music, but that's not what happened with 3I Atlas, is it?
Not even close. The arrival of 3I Atlas was polite. It was buried in routine paperwork. A few numbers got updated, a few charts were tweaked, and the world kept spinning. Most people didn't even know we had a visitor until it was already halfway out the door.
And that's what we're digging into today, because if you just glance at the headlines, it's a boring story. Rock passes star film at 11. But you've been looking at the raw data.
I have. And here's the thing, you can't look at this like an astronomer. You have to look at it like a detective at a crime scene. Because when you stop looking at what they said and start looking at what they didn't say, the silence gets very loud.
So, let's set the scene. What was the official story?
The official story was comfort food. They told us it was a cosmic drifter. Rare, sure, but natural. A visitor from another star system just passing through. That framing is important because it tells your brain to relax. Nothing to see here, just a rock.
Right, and rocks are supposed to act like rocks.
Precisely. Interstellar objects have had a hard life. They've been traveling for millions, maybe billions of years. They get battered by radiation, frozen, heated up. They should be messy. They should be unstable.
Like a beat-up car rolling into the mechanic's shop.
Exactly. But 3I Atlas? It pulled into the shop looking brand new. When the first images came in, the brightness didn't fade the way the models predicted. The structure held together way too well. It was resilient.
Resilient isn't a word I usually associate with comets.
It shouldn't be. When an object gets close to the sun, it should react. It should outgas, crack, change shape. But the data showed this thing maintaining its integrity in a way that defied the standard models. It was behaving efficiently.
Okay, so we have a sturdy rock. That's weird, but is it suspicious?
On its own? Maybe not. Science is full of weird outliers. But then you look at the trajectory analysis. This is where it gets itchy.
How so?
Astronomers tried to calculate where it came from, tracing the path backward. Usually that sharpens into a clear point of origin. But with 3I Atlas, the origin point smeared. It was blurry. It was almost as if the object's past was less stable than its present.
That sounds convenient.
It gets better. The timing. It arrived exactly when our observation capabilities were at their peak. New instruments, new sensors. If it had shown up 10 years ago, we might have missed the details. 10 years from now, we might not be looking in that specific dark patch.
A coincidence?
Coincidences are just questions waiting to be asked. But here's the kicker, the institutional response. Or rather, the lack of one.
The silence you mentioned.
Right. Usually, a rare interstellar object is a scientific lottery ticket. Everyone fights for telescope time. There's debate, arguing, excitement. Here, the tone was muted. It was restrained.
Restrained like, we don't know. Or restrained like, we don't want to talk about it.
Restrained like, let's wrap this up. Datasets were released slowly. Summaries came out before the raw feeds. Independent researchers started noticing that mass calculations were being nudged upward without explanation.
Nudged.
Just little tweaks, reducing uncertainty in one direction while increasing it in another. It's like someone was smoothing out the wrinkles in the bed sheets while we were still trying to sleep in the bed.
So they were making the data fit the boring rock narrative?
That's the feeling. It wasn't a conspiracy of lies. It felt like a conspiracy of boredom. They normalized it too fast. Phrases like unusual resilience or model divergence started popping up in internal discussions, but publicly, it was just case closed.
Why, though? If it was something truly anomalous, wouldn't they want to study it?
Unless the anomaly makes us uncomfortable. We like our universe to be messy and chaotic. 3I Atlas was consistent. It didn't flare. It didn't break. It behaved well. And when things behave too well, it suggests structure. It suggests not necessarily intent, but something other than random chance.
And that's a terrifying thought for a physicist.
It's easier to say, it's just a weird rock, than to say, we don't understand the physics of this object. The narrative shifted from what is it to what it isn't. Not artificial, not a threat. Move along.
It feels like we ghosted a scientific discovery.
We did. We chose closure over curiosity. And that's the danger. It's not about whether 3i Atlas was aliens or a spaceship or a magic rock. It's about the fact that when we saw something that didn't fit, we filed off the edges until it did.
We forced it into the box.
We hammered it in, and now it's gone. It's drifting back out into the dark. The data stream is thinning out, not because we can't see it, but because we stopped looking.
So, what's the takeaway here? If we missed something, we missed it. It's over.
Is it? Or was this the rehearsal?
That's an ominous way to put it.
Think about it. The universe doesn't usually send messages once. If 3i Atlas was a test of our detection systems and our psychological willingness to see anomalies, we failed. We explained it away.
So the next time something comes through,
The next time, it might not be so polite. It might not be so quiet. And the real tragedy won't be that we don't have the technology to see it. It'll be that we trained ourselves to look away when the data gets uncomfortable.
we're looking for monsters, so we miss the patterns.
Exactly. 3i Atlas didn't scream. It whispered, and we're just not very good at listening to whispers.
Well, on that unsettling note, I think I'm going to go look at the stars tonight with a little more suspicion.
Just don't expect them to wave back.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep watching the skies and maybe read the footnotes.